Should we transition out of movies? We've talked the whole podcast about movies.
We went hard on the whole movie scene.
Yeah, we said we were going to try to be less one note, and then now we spent like over an hour talking about movies.
Yeah.
I think is good. I think this is all good footage. We just have to figure out how we're going to cut it.
Should we just talk about TV shows then? Or
Let's
short
talk about
movies?
our experiences within different cultures. Peacock, I'm trying to recall, have you traveled overseas?
I have, yeah. I went to Ireland.
You did, that's correct, I remember.
I went to Ireland, Scotland, and Northern Ireland on a trip, which was a lot of fun. Highly suggest going to Ireland. It's a absolutely unique culture. It's a very well, I should say I only went to Dublin, so I shouldn't speak for all of Ireland. But going to Dublin, really cool experience. Lots of energy out there. Definitely worth going in the winter because there's lots of Christmas markets there. Very exciting experience. And then Northern Ireland, fascinating because of the history of the Troubles there. And you can see Game of Thrones stuff. And Scotland as well. Just absolutely fascinating. I guess like I don't know what to call Scotland because it's not. I don't know. It's like a thing in the UK, whatever you call it, a country. I don't know. I guess it's a country or part of the UK, whatever you call it. But really nice people there and beautiful city, Edinburgh.
Having traveled to Ireland the first time, would you say that it was a rocky road to Dublin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
I don't get that reference. I know it's a reference. I do not remember what it's from. I'm sorry.
By the Dubliners, or I'd say most commonly known by the Dubliners.
Oh, I'm sorry I let you down on that reference.
You certainly didn't, but I do encourage you and everyone who decides to listen to this to pull up the Dubliners and start listening to Irish music immediately because it changes lives.
You know, here's a little bit of a transition since we're getting into music stuff. I know we're talking about overseas stuff, and we can go back into that if you guys want to stay on it. But I occasionally like listen to like music from video games because there's like lots of good tracks on there. And I never knew this, but one of my favorite tracks was from The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, which uses a lot of like, I guess I would call it like Gaelic style music, which for anyone who doesn't know, it's like the Gaelic culture originates in the British Isles, Ireland and Scotland, and they've got some very catchy music over there, I guess. Yeah, I just find it very catchy, and the whole game has like music styles on it. And I never realized it growing up, and a lot of people like those music from it or seem to enjoy it. What do you want to talk about with overseas stuff?
So I agree. I love music from video games, particularly from Zelda. However, I've never played, was it Wind Waker? Wind Waker. But no, I agree. I've noticed you a lot more video games playing Gaelic style music, especially when it's like, I'm trying to think, like I feel like a lot of warrior games include Gaelic music, and I feel like I don't play a whole lot of video games, but watching my brother play or watching friends play, I feel like it's almost like playing Guitar Hero. I mean, that's not the example I had in mind, but you know how if first time you play Guitar Hero, when we were younger, we were introduced to a whole list of different songs, different kinds of music. I feel like I have similar experiences.
Yeah, I like to have the same thing where I'll just hear music from video games, and it's a good source for like unique music in general. And sometimes I won't even like play games, but I'll just hear like music tracks and I'll be like, that's a really catchy song, and it's a nice source of like good instrumental music, which I tend to like instrumental music more than like very speech heavy music, I guess. Just because I don't know, I think a lot of modern day music has a lot of stupid themes in it to the point that I almost don't want words in it. I don't know how to describe it, or if that's a good way to describe it. But yeah, there's lots of good tracks in.
If you're into primarily instrumental music, I'm about to blow your mind because you and everyone listening to this should check out a band by the name of Focus. In particular, there's a song called Hocus Pocus. So
Wow.
I'm not even kidding, it's Hocus Pocus by Focus. And you'll understand what I mean when I say it's instrumental. It's not the typical instrumental music you think of, but
It's like instrumental to the way we live our
will
lives.
change your life. And I wholeheartedly recommend that you listen to it this evening.
I'll have to check it out. I think I've seen it in passing. So
I feel like I may have sent the video to you, but in case that I didn't, I think you should check it out immediately.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out right now.
Perfect.
We were talking about Outcast earlier and how we wish we could have like an Outcast intro for this. Maybe we should talk about how is Outcast an underrated band, would you say? Or a band that people think of as a classic? I like a lot of their big songs. And I think they've got unbelievable beats on that.
Yeah, they have a few for sure. I feel like they didn't keep up with, well, it's a weird critique, but I feel like I feel like they didn't stick around, you know? Maybe they did. I just haven't heard of them in years.
They probably made their money and they skedaddled.
I agree.
I don't know. Do you think they're really overrated? Or did you say underrated or overrated?
I said underrated. I meant underrated.
Oh, well, no, I don't think so. I think they're pretty reasonably rated.
They're about right. Yeah, I actually agree with that.
Okay.
The one that I think is underrated is Cascada, or however you say it, Cascada or Cascada. I think it's Cascada. Do you remember them?
I have not heard of that.
The dance.
Oh, you know them. You know them. I guarantee it.
So it's like Evacuate the Dance Floor, right?
Yeah, that's the other big song. I think they came and they went as fast as lightning. But
I am familiar with that song.
those are some of the greatest songs of all time.
So do you like dance heavy music?
I am a connoisseur of all types of music, except maybe I really don't like country, but even country I can get into a few here and a few there. Particularly Kelly Clarkson or Taylor Swift or that type of stuff. But
Taylor Swift is she even country anymore?
well, her old country was okay, but yeah, she's actually her new album is what's the word for it? I don't know. It's like oh that's I don't what she I'm gonna look that up what she would even consider her new album, but it's not typical for her.
I am curious, Turkey and Peacock, what are your opinions on the Canadian classic? No, you don't refer to as an individual. The renowned Canadian singer Gordon Lightfoot.
Oh, I love Gordon Lightfoot.
Gordon Lightfoot, I think, is one of the absolute best human beings to ever grace North America.
I don't know who that is.
Peacock. It blows my mind that we've never discussed Gordon Lightfoot before, because I think it makes sense that we would both appreciate him as much as we do. And I have been listening to nonstop Gordon at work for probably 2 months.
Yeah, my parents used to or still love Gordon Lightfoot. So I grew up on listening to Gordon Lightfoot, and then I was watching Knives Out, which is a good movie. I think.
Yes, it's a very good movie.
I love the use. It's such a good use of music in movies, which I quite appreciate.
Forgot about that.
I love when music appropriately buoys a scene, it gives it the right feel and gives it kind of escalation on it. Because I feel like so many movies, creating a movie is you got to get all the elements in line, the visual and the audio on it. I feel like a lot of movies are out of balance in that. You talk about the Star Wars movies and modern day movies that just are there's just way too much happening visually, and you compare it to the old Star Wars movies where there's interesting visual stuff, but they've got the audio with it too, and it all comes together nicely to create the right feel with it. And Knives Out has that with Sundown, playing in that movie. So I'm a big fan of it. I didn't know that he did Sundown until I looked it up after that. I was like, oh my gosh, this song is great. And
it was absolutely amazing. And actually, that reminds me, have either of you seen the movie Baby Driver?
Yes.
No.
Do you remember when John Hamm, and I can't remember the actress's name, got in the shootout with the cops?
Yeah.
Remember that I won't call it heavy metal, but that like metal song that they were playing, and they were actually shooting the gun to the melody of the song.
I don't remember what song it was though. That wasn't the
It's
song.
that song is actually Hocus Pocus by Focus. And I was blown away when I saw it make a return. It was literally from like the 70s. The best part is one, it's actually like a sick riff. But
Yeah.
two, my favorite part is the reason it's instrumental, nobody's technically singing, and I think they included this in the movie. I want to say they're a Dutch band. I want to say Dutch, but they could be Danish. I don't remember. I think they're Dutch. And the main performer, the head of the band, he actually yodels in his songs, and it's absolutely insane. But it fits.
Yeah, I remember that because that song, they used that for another thing. They had a World Cup commercial
I
for,
was actually just thinking about that. Yeah, they did.
and it
That
was,
was the first time I'd seen it outside of, listen to it outside their albums.
man, how have we never, yeah, because I saw it on that. And I'm like, this commercial is so good with this song. I'm like, this song is so great. Like,
Yeah,
it's got, like such a unique beat. And that's why I remember it because there was a couple days where I was like, man, this song is fantastic. Like, and I was just like kind of enamored by it because I was like, this feels like such a perfect use for it in that movie.
it's
Other
funny though, because
days
if
we've
you
never
hear it or like watch the video outside of like that context, it's actually really funny. So I think it's a great song.
Yeah. Turkey, what do you have to say about this?
I have no comment.
Are you gonna listen to Hocus Pocus after this?
I'm currently listening to it right now.
Oh, you are. What do you think of it?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not.
Okay.
And honestly, I'll probably forget to do that later too.
Just remember, I'll probably text you around 2 o'clock tomorrow morning to pull up Hocus Pocus by Focus. So, Turkey, remember to focus and listen to Hocus Pocus by Focus.
Wow.
Now you'll never forget. What's the name of the band?
Hocus Pocus.
Okay, you're gonna forget.
Should we talk about what else should we talk about? We have enough content here for like multiple episodes. So I don't
I
know.
would like to go back to, well, not necessary, but I think it would be fun to talk about our overseas experiences. Peacock, I actually completely forgot that you went overseas, and you went to the one country I've always wanted to go to and haven't had a chance to.
Ireland.
Correct. And then Turkey has gone to, I think, more countries than I have. And I'm super jealous because I wanted to visit half of them.
Ironically, I have not visited the country of Turkey.
I know. I'm just thinking the same thing.
But yeah, I've been a decent amount, but I definitely have a lot more to go. But I loved my favorite. I went to Croatia, and we did a mini day trip to Montenegro, which was gorgeous. And then we did Greece in the same like 3 week trip, and that was one of my favorites. And I've been to London. I've been to Austria and Hungary and Bratislava and obviously I've been to Spain twice. I haven't really done like your typical ones though. Like I haven't done France, I haven't done Italy, I haven't done Germany, I haven't done
Switzerland.
I've only what'd you say?
Switzerland.
Did you say Switzerland?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's like a typical one, do you think?
I mean, I think it's may get attention
Not
because
uncommon, yeah. It's
it's
not uncommon, but it's like it's more and more common. Like a lot of people go there to ski or like,
I guess.
yeah.
yeah. Fair enough. I think you have a point when you say like less people have probably been there than most other European
I mean,
countries.
I feel like nowadays like Iceland is more or no, wait, Reykjavik is Iceland. Greenland?
I don't know if you're
I think
pronouncing it
you're
right
right.
or
I
not.
think you're right. I think it is Iceland.
It
Is
is
it
Iceland, right?
Reykjavik
Because
or Reykjavik? I can't even remember.
no,
It's Icelandic.
I'm pretty sure it's Reykjavik.
Okay.
It is Iceland.
Yeah, that's the capital.
But anyways, um, like that's starting to become like a super common place just because it's like super cheap to fly out there, but it's crazy expensive once you get there.
Really?
Yeah, like it's more expensive than from what I heard, it's more expensive than like France or
Really?
like England or anything like, or I guess London specifically. I don't know. I don't know the rest of England too much. I've really only visited London and a few of the
Switzerland,
outskirts areas.
Switzerland's actually really expensive. I went to
Oh
Zurich
yeah.
the first time I studied abroad, and apparently Geneva is much the same way. And I just remember, like,
Priciest country or city in the world.
yeah, to save money, we
Wait,
actually
what'd you say?
I think Geneva's. I think at one point it was like either the priciest city in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Vienna's up there and Hong Kong's up there too.
Did you say Vienna?
Yeah.
I don't think it
I
was
didn't. I didn't think it was that bad.
yeah, maybe at one point, but I don't nowadays. I don't think it's that expensive.
I wonder like where Honolulu.
Real estate, but
I
yeah,
mean, mixing like the most livable cities in the world with like the most expensive because usually they mix.
I wonder where Honolulu ranks on that because they've got to be.
High. It's the highest in the United States, I think, in livable.
Thanks for taking a ride on Spaceship Piff. If you're interested in another trip, check out one of our other videos, and consider leaving a comment on our most recent podcast about how you paid it forward.